Hello, and welcome. In the vast and intricate tapestry of the natural world, there are creatures that command both our fascination and our fear. Among them, spiders are perhaps the most misunderstood. They are ancient architects. They are silent hunters. They are vital components of our ecosystems. But for all their delicate beauty, some possess a formidable defense, a venomous bite, a stark reminder of nature's power. Today, we're embarking on a journey to understand these defenses as we count down the worst spider bites on Earth. Our exploration will be a careful one. We will proceed methodically, ranking these encounters from the relatively mild to the most severe. We'll examine the unique chemistry of their venoms, and the profound effects they can have on the human body. It is a journey into the heart of evolutionary arms races where survival is dictated by the most potent of cocktails. This is not a quest to vilify these remarkable animals, but rather to foster a deeper understanding and a healthy respect for their capabilities. A word of caution is necessary before we proceed. The descriptions and images we will be sharing are of a clinical and sometimes graphic nature, detailing real-world consequences. For some, this may be difficult to witness. Viewer discretion is advised as we pull back the curtain on these powerful and sometimes dangerous arachnids. Now let us begin. Our countdown begins not with a fearsome giant, but with a small, often overlooked arachnid, the yellow sac spider. These creatures, with their pale, almost translucent bodies, yellow to beige, are nocturnal wanderers. They do not build intricate webs to ensnare their prey. Instead, they actively hunt smaller insects, relying on speed and stealth. During the day, they retreat into silken sacs, little woven hammocks tucked away in the corners of leaves, or, quite often, within our own homes. It is this proximity to humans that most frequently leads to encounters. A spider, seeking refuge within folded clothing or bedding, may bite defensively if it feels trapped or crushed. The initial sensation is often described as a sharp, stinging pain, not unlike that of a wasp or bee. Following the initial sting, the area around the bite typically becomes red and swollen. An itchy welt may form, a localized inflammatory response as the body reacts to the foreign proteins injected by the spider. For most individuals, this is the full extent of the drama. The discomfort is real, certainly, but it is temporary. Within a few hours or perhaps a day or two, the symptoms begin to fade, leaving little more than a small healing mark. Moving up our scale, we encounter a spider shrouded in controversy and misinformation, the hobo spider. An immigrant from the fields of Europe, now established in the Pacific Northwest of North America, a member of the funnel web family, not to be confused with far more dangerous Australian cousins, builds messy, horizontal, funnel-shaped webs close to the ground, wood piles, rock walls, foundations of houses, named hobo for spreading along railway lines, often transported like a traveler catching a ride, not inherently aggressive but ground-dwelling and prone to wander into homes, may enter a shoe or hide in a pile of laundry, leading to an accidental defensive bite. The bite is often initially painless. Within an hour, a small, hard, pimple-like bump may appear, often with a distinct red circle. Over a day or two it can blister and break open, creating a slow-healing ulcerated wound. That potential for necrosis fueled its fearsome reputation. But the severity and frequency of necrosis is hotly debated. Once seen as a major medical threat, more recent European studies have cast doubt. We now turn our attention to one of nature's most formidable hunters, a creature whose name alone evokes an image of predatory prowess, the wolf spider. These are not web builders, athletic ground-dwelling stalkers with excellent eyesight. Found across the globe in grasslands and forests, their robust, often hairy bodies and long, powerful legs are built for pursuit. They are the sprinters and ambush predators of the arachnid world. A wolf spider's primary defense is its speed. When confronted, its first instinct is to flee, often with astonishing quickness. A bite is almost always a last resort, a defensive action taken when it is cornered, trapped, or relentlessly provoked. The female wolf spider is particularly protective, often seen carrying her egg sac with her, or, after they hatch, a brood of spiderlings upon her back. To threaten her is to invite a swift and decisive response. Should a bite occur, it is an immediately painful event. The wolf spider possesses a pair of large, strong chelicerae, the fang-bearing structures, that are more than capable of delivering a deep and mechanically damaging puncture. The pain is sharp and often accompanied by a throbbing sensation that can persist for some time. The venom itself is designed to liquefy the internal organs of insects and other small prey, and while it is not particularly potent against mammals, it can still cause a significant local reaction. Swelling, redness, and tenderness around the puncture marks are common. In some cases, the lymph nodes nearest the bite, in the armpit or groin for example, may become swollen and tender as the body's immune system mounts a defense against the foreign venom proteins. While frightening, these symptoms are typically localized. The venom of a wolf spider is not considered medically significant in the sense of being life-threatening to a healthy adult. Despite the initial pain and the sometimes dramatic swelling, the effects of a wolf spider bite are self-limiting. There is no risk of the severe tissue death seen with other species, and systemic effects are virtually unheard of. It is an encounter that is more about immediate, intense pain than long-term danger. For this reason, the powerful wolf spider takes its place here. A bite to be respected and avoided, but not one that typically warrants a true medical emergency. Number 7. The brown recluse spider. We now arrive at a spider whose name is whispered with a unique kind of dread. Its bite is infamous not for immediate pain, but for insidious, destructive aftermath. The brown recluse. Identified by the characteristic violin-shaped marking on its cephalothorax. This spider is shy and non-aggressive. It seeks out dark, quiet, undisturbed places. Woodpiles, sheds, closets, forgotten boxes. Encounters are almost always accidental. A hand reaching into a dark corner, a foot slipping into an old shoe, rolling over onto a spider in bedding. The bite itself is often so slight it may go unnoticed at first. There is no sharp initial jolt of pain. This deceptive gentleness is the prelude to something far more serious. Over the next several hours a change begins. The site may become red and a small bullseye lesion can form. A blister may rise as deep, aching pain sets in. The venom's primary component, an enzyme, attacks cell membranes. The venom is cytotoxic and hemolytic. It destroys skin, fat, blood vessels. Tissue is starved of oxygen and nutrients. This causes necrotic arachnidism. The tissue at the center of the bite begins to die. The skin darkens, turning black with necrosis. The dead tissue eventually sloughs away, leaving a deep, open ulcer. The wound can be incredibly slow to heal, taking many months. It's prone to secondary bacterial infection. The result is often a permanent, disfiguring scar. Most bites don't become necrotic, but the potential is real. Venom amount and individual response are key factors. In rare cases, especially children or immunocompromised, systemic reactions can occur: fever, rashes, and damage to red blood cells. Number 6. The mouse spider. Our journey now takes us to the sun-scorched landscapes of Australia, home to some of the world's most formidable arachnids. Here we find the mouse spider at the entrance of its deep, silk-lined burrow. The males are the more commonly encountered. They wander from their burrows in search of a mate. Large, powerful fangs, often brightly colored heads, an intimidating sight. The reason it makes the list is its venom. Lab studies show the venom is very similar to the Sydney funnel webs, a potent neurotoxin targeting the nervous system, potentially dangerously, even fatally toxic to humans. Tingling around the mouth, muscle twitching, profuse sweating, increased heart rate, difficulty breathing, a rapid, terrifying cascade of neurological overload. The venom keeps nerve channels open, causing continuous firing of impulses, leading to respiratory failure or cardiac arrest if left untreated. But there's a crucial, fortunate difference from the funnel web. The potential is real. The reality is usually different. Mouse spiders are far less likely to inject significant venom. They often deliver dry bites, a painful puncture with large fangs, but often withholding their venomous cocktail. They're not common in dense urban areas, and are less aggressive than funnel webs. Confirmed severe bites are exceptionally rare. Despite the fearsome potential, behavior makes them a lesser practical threat. A loaded gun that is rarely fired. Potential versus actual risk. Number 5. The redback spider. We remain in Australia to meet a spider that is both iconic and widely feared. The redback, a close relative of the black widow. The female redback is small and glossy black, with a striking red or orange stripe on her abdomen. She builds a tangled, messy web in dry, sheltered locations, under rocks, in logs, in sheds, in mailboxes, in outdoor toilets. It's this habit of living near people that makes bites relatively common. The redback is not aggressive and will often play dead if disturbed. But if a hand or body part presses against her or her web, she will bite to defend herself and her egg sacs. The bite itself is immediately painful, a sharp pinprick that quickly blossoms into a more intense, radiating pain. The pain becomes severe and can spread from the bite site to affect the entire limb and then the chest and abdomen. The venom of the redback is a complex cocktail of neurotoxins. Unlike the funnel web's venom, which causes a massive, uncontrolled firing of nerves, the redback's venom promotes a massive release of neurotransmitters from nerve endings which are then depleted. This leads to a unique and deeply unpleasant set of symptoms known as latrodectism. The pain can be so intense it becomes all-consuming. Victims often experience profuse sweating, nausea, vomiting, muscle weakness. These symptoms can persist for days, sometimes even weeks if left untreated. While fatalities are now extremely rare thanks to the development of a highly effective antivenom, a bite from a redback was once life-threatening, especially for the very young or the elderly. Number 4. The Brazilian wandering spider. Our journey now takes us to the lush rainforests of South America, Central America, the domain of a spider that holds a Guinness World Record for being the most venomous. This is not just one species but a genus called Phoneutria. The name means murderous in Greek. These spiders are large, they're fast, and aggressive. True to their name, they don't build webs. They wander the forest floor at night searching for prey. Their defensive posture is iconic, and honestly, terrifying. When threatened, they raise their front 2 pairs of legs straight up into the air. They display their imposing fangs, often swaying side to side, an unambiguous warning to back away. They've got a reputation for hiding in banana bunches. That has led to occasional transport around the world, although today that's exceptionally rare thanks to modern farming and shipping practices. The bite from a Brazilian wandering spider is intensely painful. Its venom is a complex cocktail of toxins. The most potent component is PHTX3. PHTX3 targets nerves. The toxin interferes with the nervous system, causing loss of muscle control. It causes severe pain and breathing problems. The venom can also trigger a massive release of nitric oxide in the body. That nitric oxide release can produce an unusual side effect, priapism. Priapism is a painful, persistent erection that can last many hours and, if untreated, lead to permanent impotence. While sensationalized in the media, the real danger is systemic. In high doses, the venom can lead to respiratory paralysis and death. Children are particularly vulnerable due to smaller body mass. A bite that might severely sicken an adult can be fatal to a child. An effective antivenom has been developed and has dramatically reduced fatalities. Nonetheless, the sheer potency of its venom, its aggressive nature, and its severe, fast-acting effects on the human nervous system earn the Brazilian wandering spider its high and fearsome ranking on our list. Number 3. The six-eyed sand spider. So, we now venture into the desolate, sun-bleached deserts of southern Africa to find a true master of camouflage. It buries itself until it's nearly invisible. Notice its flattened body and sand-colored hairs. There it waits, motionless for prey. An unsuspecting insect wanders within reach, or maybe a small scorpion. This spider is incredibly reclusive and lives far from most people. As a result, confirmed bites on humans are extraordinarily rare. There are only 2 well-documented cases in history, so we know its power mostly from laboratory studies. Those studies reveal something deeply disturbing. Laboratory animal studies show massive tissue damage. The venom isn't primarily neurotoxic or necrotic like some others, instead it's powerfully hemolytic, and it's cytotoxic. The active agent is a sphingomyelinase D enzyme. When injected into the bloodstream, it causes catastrophic systemic damage. It triggers massive, uncontrolled hemolysis. At the same time, it causes disseminated intravascular coagulation, tiny clots forming everywhere, while somehow the body's clotting ability is exhausted, leading to uncontrolled bleeding from other sites. It effectively tears the circulatory system apart from the inside. There is no antivenom for a six-eyed sand spider bite. Treatment would be purely supportive, attempting to manage organ failure and massive internal bleeding. In animal studies and the known cases, the bite leads to organ failure, massive bruising, and eventually death. It's only the spider's reclusive nature and remote habitat that keep it from being a major public health crisis. Its venom is without a doubt one of the most destructive poisons in the animal kingdom. Number 2. The Sydney funnel-web spider. We return to Australia for our runner-up, a spider whose reputation is legendary and thoroughly deserved, the Sydney funnel-web. This large, powerful, glossy black spider found within a 100-mile radius of Sydney. That proximity makes it especially dangerous. They build silk-lined burrows with trip lines radiating from the entrance, often in moist, sheltered areas in gardens, under rocks. Both male and female are dangerous, but the smaller, wandering male is the most deadly. In summer months, males leave their burrows at night. In autumn months, they do the same. That's when they wander into suburban homes and gardens. Sometimes they fall into swimming pools and can survive for many hours underwater. If cornered, they will rear up, display enormous, powerful fangs, bite repeatedly with ferocious intensity. Fangs can reportedly pierce a fingernail or soft shoe leather. Bites often lock on and must be forcibly removed. The venom is delta-atricatoxin, a potent, fast-acting neurotoxin. It hits primates hard, including humans. It causes nerves to fire uncontrollably. Symptoms can begin within minutes: tingling around the mouth, muscle spasms, profuse sweating, salivation, dangerously elevated heart rate, dangerously elevated blood pressure. Fluid can build up in the lungs, making breathing difficult. Without treatment, respiratory failure or cardiac arrest can occur in as little as 15 minutes for a small child. Before 1981, a bite was often fatal. Since the antivenom's introduction, no recorded fatalities. Yet the speed, virulence, aggression, and proximity to people make it a medical emergency. Toxicity, temperament, territory. Number 1. The Black Widow Spider. We have reached the top of our list, the number 1 position. And here we find a name that is recognized the world over, a name that has become synonymous with deadly spiders, the Black Widow. This group of spiders from the genus Latrodectus is found on every continent except Antarctica. The female is famous for her shiny abdomen, black abdomen, and bulbous abdomen, often adorned with a red hourglass-shaped marking on the underside like their Australian cousins, the redbacks. Black widows build tangled three-dimensional webs in dark, sheltered places. They are shy and bite only in self-defense, such as when their web is disturbed, or when the spider itself is accidentally crushed against the skin. The bite may feel like a small pinprick, or it may not be felt at all. The true ordeal begins a short time later as the venom takes hold. The venom contains a powerful neurotoxin called alpha-latrotoxin. This molecule works by creating pores in the membranes of nerve cells, causing a massive uncontrolled flood of neurotransmitters. This leads to the clinical syndrome known as latrodectism. The first symptom is a dull, numbing pain at the bite site that slowly spreads. But it is the systemic effects that truly define a Black Widow bite. Within an hour, the victim begins to experience severe, excruciating muscle cramps. The pain is intense and unrelenting. Large muscle groups, particularly in the abdomen and back, become rigid and board-like. The victim may experience hypertension, profuse sweating, nausea, and a sense of overwhelming anxiety and dread. The pain has been compared to that of appendicitis or even childbirth, and it can last for days without medical intervention. While a bite is rarely fatal to a healthy adult today, thanks to the availability of antivenom and supportive care, it represents one of the most painful and agonizing experiences a human can endure from an animal encounter. Before modern medicine, fatalities were more common, especially among children and the elderly. It is this combination of global distribution, commonality of bites, and the sheer unadulterated agony caused by its venom that earns the Black Widow its infamous and well-deserved title as the purveyor of the worst spider bite on Earth. Our journey through the world of venomous spiders comes to a close. From the mild irritation of the yellow sac to the systemic agony of the Black Widow, we've seen the incredible diversity and power of these chemical arsenals. It's crucial to remember that these creatures do not bite out of malice. Their venom is a tool for survival, for predation and defense developed over millions of years of evolution. Our encounters with them are often accidents, unfortunate collisions of two vastly different worlds. This video is for education and appreciation, not for diagnosis. If you ever suspect you have been bitten by a potentially dangerous spider, please do not hesitate. The most important action you can take is to seek professional medical attention immediately. Trying to self-diagnose or wait it out can have serious consequences. Your health and safety are paramount, so always err on the side of caution and let the experts take care of you. These spiders are a vital part of our world's ecosystems, and understanding them is the first step toward coexisting peacefully. I hope this exploration has replaced fear with a healthy and profound respect. If you found this journey as fascinating as I did, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more explorations into the natural world. And please share your own respectful spider encounters or thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for joining me.